afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to Minor League Esports presented by APM Music. Once again, I am your happy-go-lucky hooligan host, Captain at Soka, joined in the booth by Grant CFO. And after that first series, I gotta say, I'm definitely looking forward to the next one. Grant, how are things shaping up going into the next matchup?
Oh boy, Captain, let me tell you what we got shaken up for you. We've got the Shadow versus the Rhinos. In Master League doubles, we saw some threes action earlier. It was pretty darn exciting. We saw some Academy League action that was also exciting. So this one, based on the pattern of the night as it has progressed, I think we could be in for an exciting one. The Rhinos, they're sitting first in their division, and heck, sitting pretty comfortably at top of, I think, the entire conference. If I'm not mistaken, I might be. No, yes, I am mistaken. They're at the number one wildcard spot, so it seems like they could secure playoffs in a little bit here. We'll get to those J's. I think it was because I looked in chat and saw J. I meant to say numbers or something else. J always finds a way to be in my head somehow, Captain.
Yeah, trust me, I hear many voices in my head, so trust me, I completely understand what you're going through, Grant CFO. But all jokes aside, let's take a look at going off, for the season leaderboards over here, because guess what? I see a person in here that not only do I recognize from previous games, but I recognize him from the leaderboard. Take a look at this. We got T-Man RL showing up huge for the Rhinos as they are 5th on the leaderboard for the MVPR, sitting at a 599, pretty impressive. And if we go down into the goals, guess who we see again? It's none other than T-Man RL, holding the number 9 spot for goals. So this is not only a very good overall player, but this is a shooter right here. So if I'm on the side of the Shadow, I'm gonna be looking at a little bit of defense, because you're gonna need a strong one if you're gonna be going up against T-Man. And with that being said, there's really not a lot more action there. So we're gonna be watching out for T-Man and see what they do. But of course, you got your teammates on the board. So if they're gonna be passing the ball around, sharing the sugar a little bit, and feeding their star player, it could be dangerous for the Shadow.
It absolutely could be. I think T-Man has always been somebody to watch out for. I used to run 4-mans with them in CL. Absolutely insane. Ranked out, I think, last season, and has been in Master League pretty comfortably since. And it seems like they're grinding the game, Captain. It could be a matter of moments before they rank out the PL. We might see them there next season. Just seems like the way things are going to progress. But I can tell you how this first game is going to progress, and it's Urinate who gets the first goal.
Yeah, this was just a really, really nice 50-50 there. Urinate already kind of sprinkling down the hopes of the Shadow early on with that one kickoff goal. The momentum, that's the one thing, though, is that you don't want to lose momentum too early. And, just getting the momentum in your favor already with a kickoff goal off the very first goal of the series with not even 10 seconds gone, it doesn't look too good. But the answer back from Slimy will bring all things back round circle as we are tied back at 1.
Well, Captain, when they scored in the test lobby, you said save it for the game, and Slimy will absolutely do so. Save it, get it just past COD on the Shadow, brings it to a tie game, just like that. 45, 4:46 on the clock. Look, it's been a long day. Despite my nap earlier today, I don't know if that's enough energy to get me through it. We can only hope so, but the brain cells are splitting, and division becomes more prevalent, even in the defense of the Rhinos right now. Luckily, got enough to hold it down and send it back the other way for their counterattack.
Yeah, my mental capacity is also decaying a little bit, because I wasn't sure if you were casting Rocket League or asking me for a 4-for-4. But regardless, we're going to get back to the action here as we're still tied at 1, nearly a minute gone. It's going to be T-Man trying to take this one downfield as KOD is going to retreat into the corner, but a nice touch there will get past 1. And then the dunk on Urinate, as long as Slimy can pick up the recovery. And they do, but KOD is there to shut it down, and Urinate will bring this one back towards T-Man. T-Man now up the sidewall looking for a midfield touch, but instead goes for the slippery Duna, and will bring it into the net with an airstrike to follow it up. They take the lead back 2-1.
T-Man has always been that incredible asset for any team they step foot on, and here they do not disappoint. Explosive play from them starting out the series right, and only 5 minutes gone from the 4-minute mark. Urinate will try to get this back immediately with the long clears. T-Man down low, got it blocked by Urinate. To the corner now, T-Man trying to follow up, move it towards the midfield for their teammate. It's unfortunate that they can't for now. Shadow firing some good looks towards net. In the corner, camping out a little bit. Gets one fake, might not find it past the other. Couldn't get it up and over in time. Leaving it out for the Rhinos to continue. Euro takes it back on the corner, picks up a little bit, not boost. KOD throws it back. Slimy stops it. And still, nothing much to come of it. Everybody trading blows on both sides of the pitch. Only a matter of time before we see the ball start to lurk towards that box.
Now, you see, that's what's kind of cheeky about this, because so far, the only goal that came from, from the Shadow was that early kickoff goal, and it's been kind of quiet ever since. And now it kind of just seems like the Rhinos are running the show here with another goal on target. Coming from Slimy. And of course, what a beautiful pass coming off a team-in there and being able to rock the midfield. The Rhinos are pulling a complete turnaround here in game number 1.
It's very, very well done. And like I said, I've just got my eyes on team-in. Always just a phenomenal player. Okay, really, team-in? We're going to do this stuff now? We're going to just stall the ball, keep it frozen in the air for as long as time? Okay, mechanically sound might be a bit of an understatement for T-Man and this Rhinos roster. We can see this talent propel them to new heights. And I mean, maybe the sheet was right. Maybe they are just that dominant, not on top of the conference, but certainly on top of the division. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Who knows? We'll figure it out. We'll sort out the stat sheet. Maybe it's as tired as we are, but T-Man, no signs of slowing down. Looking to take out some players. This Slimy Shadow fire one downfield. T-Man takes it to the side, and it's just enough to keep the Shadow out. KOD, though, gets the return off the rebound and puts it behind the defense.
And this was just an impressive read here, coming off the 50-50 from T-Man and, of course, Euronade. But you see, that's what's even more impressive is that we know how hard 50-50s are to read, but it was no problem for KOD to get up there just in time, read it off the backboard, and drop it right back down into the back of the net, bringing their team back within 1. So I got to say, I'm liking the early close game that we're seeing here in game number 1. And now an answer back, looking again. Oh. And the shot was on target from Euronade, but both T-Man and Slimy had to recover a save to get that one out of their net.
Goodness gracious, does it get closer? Who has any idea? Just pre-jump that one, basically. KOD, even though they got taken out, their shot wasn't taken out. It lived on past their life, filling out their legacy and tying the game 3-3. What a stop.
Not only what a stop, like good mind game, first of all, because I bid on it. I'm thinking, oh, here comes the flippery doodah set, but no, drug that one to the ground, got the back touch with the tail fin, ended up going up in reverse, and then also taking the pick, taking the charge, and then giving up the ultimate sacrifice to ensure a goal for their team. Your sacrifice clearly was not in vain. Well done. We are tied back up at 3, and now it's up to the Shadow to kind of pull out the turnaround now. And then again, this isn't something that's unfamiliar. We could possibly see another OT in game number 1.
We could. Shadow are starting to luck out on the defensive side, turning to these offensive attacks to see what they can do with it. Euro puts one up to the backboard, might waterfall down for Slimy, lands up in their lap. Euronate with the dunk, though, takes it underneath, and Shadow, just like that, have found their lead in this game number 1.
Yeah, Euronade just absolutely dunking on Slimy there. Good read, good play off the 50-50, putting that into the back of the net. And now not all even, but all even for KOD and Euronade as far as goals are concerned. They both got 2 apiece, and then Euronade with the 1 assist on the board, and KOD, of course, with the 1 save right now. And they're looking pretty well on offense. And I couldn't help but notice that once they started kind of clicking a little bit, synergizing, spreading the field a little bit more, they started to have a lot more success offensively. So I think if they keep that up and they keep it going, they're gonna be a little bit more dominant on offense against the Rhinos.
Right, we're looking for that team involvement, and it felt like KOD just was a little bit afraid of that involvement. Wasn't getting too many touches on the ball, but now we're seeing them start to dump the ball off to Euronate and getting their hands on it when they can. They're going for the balls that they can go for, and we're seeing confidence start to rise up in the levels a little bit more. Slimy, this is one around the corner. It's right back out into their hands off clear, and T-Man gets the dunk to tie us with 21 seconds to go. What a back-and-forth game.
Yeah, I think this was just like a little awkward. Like, I really don't think that KOD or Urinate anticipated for the ball to just land perfectly on Urinate. Pretty sure KOD was just trying to get the ball off the wall, and Urinate just happened to be underneath it. And like, it just landed on top of their head, and it's like, okay, what do I do with it now? And unfortunately for them, you know, they were able to run away with that one and just kind of tee off the nose of Urinate and just slam that into the back of the net.
Here comes Slimy off the sidewall, gets a pass one off the back. Sent out by Urinate. T-Man catches down low, picks up the boost, sends it right back over the head of KOD while keeping it close. Great control, knows how to work it, gets the musty flick, not enough to break through KOD, and we've got overtime. That one was close, Captain.
Yep, and just like previously stated, when we're looking at an overtime in game number 1, it's just a telltale sign of what to expect for the rest of the series. But oh my goodness, what coulda, shoulda, woulda been the game will just go off the sidebar, and the counterattack will hold true from Urinate and the Shadows as they literally steal game number 1 away from the Rhinos.
Urinate with an impressive air dribble carry, catches it down low, one simple pop over, and it was certainly a hard-fought victory. And Rhinos, they got to run for their money for sure. Just one goal behind. It could have gone either way, and I'm excited to see how the rest of this series plays out.
And so am I, and especially when you look at the stat sheet, you know, time for a little bit of Caps analysis, but the stat lines were actually kind of even, all things considered. You know, we're looking at the Shadow here, and then Urinate just played wonderfully, especially, you know, as far as goal participation is concerned. 3 goals, 1 assist, very active, responsible for 4 out of the 5 goals scored, and with 6 shots, shooting at 50%. Not bad. We're going to look at the other side now with Slimy and T-Man. You know, T-Man, again, with 100% goal participation for their team, and then Slimy, of course, with the 2 goals, 1 assist, not far behind, with a total of 11 shots, where on the Shadow side, you have 9. And then, you know, you had KOD with a really high shot percentage, shooting 2 for 3, so not bad at all. And again, we're seeing the classic matchup of quantity versus quality, and in this game, it was quality that took home the W.
Even though it felt like quantity at times, just plenty of shots rolling in, plenty of goals rolling in, but it does come down to quality at the end of the day. We talked about it in the last series of Academy League with consistency. Well, Master League, you're going to see a lot more of that consistency a lot more often. So the way this continues, again, it could go either way. It's all about these small mistakes, but there's a lot of mechanics on this field, and I don't think that it's going to be waiting for mistakes. It's going to be creating your own opportunities, as we've seen throughout Game 1. Oh my goodness, I'm just so excited to sit back and feel like a spectator watching a show match right now, because that's what this one feels like if it continues the way it does, and if it is as back and forth as we think it will be. If we go to a deciding Game 5, this could be a classic, and appropriately so as we get closer to playoffs.
Now, you see, I think this is where, you know, maybe the Master League could take a page out of the Academy League's book from last game, because as you were talking about, you know, instead of waiting for opportunity, create opportunity. You know, don't wait for a mistake. Well, if we remember from Miss Ginge in the previous game with the solo play mind games they were pulling off, they were able to create opportunity by forcing mistakes. So maybe that's something they can implement here, because I haven't seen a lot of mind game trickery come out, just a lot of straight up Rocket League, which honestly is my personal preference. But if we're going to be having a back and forth like this one, they may have to pull out a trick play or two.
They might have to, and we know that these are going to be the players to do it. It's just a lot tougher when they know not to give their opponents any space at all. Here comes Euro around the corner, leaves it back for the Rhinos to take a little bit of advantage of. Slimy gets beaten out by KOD. T-Man backing up, dangerous position, but the mechanics will come through, getting a decent clear. Euro gets the dunk passed to the corner now, around the back flip. This will stall the offense a little bit. T-Man gets taken out. No stalling here. All defense, long clears for KOD, trying to force a double commit with these powerful shots. KOD down low, can't turn it around. It's too weak, and the 50 goes wasted to the side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm watching Urinate play, and am I just crazy, or is Urinate just dominant on the 50-50s? Seems like they've won every one so far, but speaking of 50s and pinches, look at this connection here coming from Slimy and T-Man. Look at this play. T-Man bringing it across. Nice connection there with Slimy. Beautiful pass play right there at the midfield, and really there's nothing much for the defender to do, because being caught in a 2v1 scenario like that more often than not will lead to a goal. So it's really not so much of a defensive mishap, where it was just great offensive observation and team awareness.
I love the team awareness, though. The team plays that we get to see, the pass plays that are being shoveled over to the teammates. I love it. It's what's going to create a lot of the success. As much as we would love to see some of those solo plays in the mind games come out, I don't think that there's quite room for it just yet. T-Man, though, has broken the axles in the air for Euro Nate as this one slips by.
There we go, and this is just really just some aerial acrobatics here. Nice control of the ball. Didn't even need to get a Phillip reset at all. Just was able to air dribble that one out. Some good old fundamental air dribbling will get the job done and make it 2-0 in favor of the Rhinos. But let's not forget what happened in game number 1. The Rhinos had a pretty dominant lead, and then the Shadow just turned it around and was able to steal a dub. So if the Rhinos are not careful, it could happen again.
It absolutely could, but they've got a comfortable lead right now as we hit halftime, holding off these defenses from advancing into the offensive territory. Of course, as I say that, now it all comes back around the opposite way. Slimy clears long as KOD to watch out for, puts it up to the ceiling. KOD will look for the follow. No contact met. T-Man misses contact as well, opening for the Shadow, but their teammate is able to come in on the defense to block it away. Urinate took it out. Leaves their teammate in a 1v2 situation, handled so well by KOD, and this one is brought out to the other side for the first Shadow goal.
Yeah, now, is it just me, or did that play look a little deja vu familiar to you? It kind of looked like the same play they just scored on, and KOD was like, wait a minute, I know what they're about to do, and then just cuts it up the middle, breaking the play to pieces and stealing it and then turning it into a goal for themselves. Good read and way to adapt to a play that clearly you have seen before. So well done to recover on that one and turn it into a goal for yourself. And now just one goal away from the equalizer. Again, like I said before, if the Rhinos aren't careful, you know, the Shadow will definitely make you pay, as KOD is going to take this one the other way. A scoring opportunity as Slimy is off to the races but can't make it to the finish line. KOD will get the equalizer. We are tied back at 2.
Literally, right as you said it, Captain, it could happen, and look, it did happen. Shadow are able to pick it up, steer it all the way 180, and take it back to the house for now a tied game in a 1-0 series right now. It's back to the side wall. T-Man drops it off, looking for the Doomsy, or maybe no, was that supposed to happen? I can't tell. These colors are so similar to me. I can't figure out what's black and what's sand colored. That's the word I'm looking for. It's confusing. I thought he was supposed to go for that. Unfortunately, he doesn't, because he can't. It was his own net. T-Man does, though, however, get the 50 through the Shadow corner. Picks up a demo along the way. KOD, though, has one more to beat. Doesn't succeed with the 50. Euro has the time, rushes the shot, Slimy up for it. It's the clear to the corner. Euro to the net. Backed off. KOD in retreat, leaves it for Slimy, clears it into the corner, and we're seeing a little bit less of the team play. And T-Man goes for the solo play. How does this one go in?
Faith, trust, and pixie dust, and T-Man awesomeness. It's the only thing I can think of. A beautiful 50-50 read coming off the backboard. Now, we're talking about these 50 reads, and normally you see them just on the ground, you know, kind of dictating where the ball's going to fly. But T-Man able to do that mid-air, coming off the backboard in such an awkward position. I don't know. I honestly don't think anybody else on this field besides T-Man might be able to pull that one off, but it comes in clutch, as with the last remaining 30 seconds, they are up 1.
Slimy from the right side takes it back across to the corner. Paints a picture in our minds of imminent success. They can just do a little bit more. This one's a pass back to T-Man, a little bit too much sauce. It's going to put them in a bad place defensively. Slimy looking to find T-Man upfield, runs into Urinate along the way, off the interception to the backboard. Slimy, it's a small touch, it's enough to keep KOD away, but not clear. Shadow continue their offensive push. Slimy will kill it, and Rhinos will take away the game. Man, that one felt a lot shorter. I thought we had so much more time to go, but time gets away from you. And maybe that's what happened with the Shadow, not able to pick up that extra goal, and we're tied 1-1 in the series.
Well, you know what they say, time flies when you're having fun and time flies when you're watching a good game. And that's exactly what just happened. We were so caught up in the game, we didn't even realize how far the clock had ticked down before it was simply too late. And the Rhinos came out on top as the Shadow were making an impressive comeback, much like they did in game number one. But the Rhinos saw the same type of deja vu that I did, and they were not having it. Fantastic plays coming out from T-Man, of course, with 100% goal participation, shooting also 2 for 3, really high shot percentage. T-Man was just popping off on offense, and then Slimy coming in doing work that they needed to do with 1 goal, 2 saves, and 3 shots. And on the other side, it was KOD who came up with the 2 goals, 2 saves, 4 shots. And unfortunately for Euronate, they didn't come up with any goals, but they did contribute with an assist, a save, and 3 shots for themselves.
It was all well done by, both teams, despite the results. Again, another close game, Captain. 1 goal away from things going entirely the other way, and in this case, to overtime. We've yet to see one of those yet. Yet is the key word, because I think we're going to see at least one in this series. If this series continues the way it does and these players play the way they have been, it's going to happen eventually. It's inevitable at this point, Captain. It's got to happen. I want to see an overtime. I just don't know if we'll get it this game. It's going to be close, however which way it goes. And there's a fresh clock of Rocket League restored to the board. We get set to go for Game 3.
Yes, and now already popping off things here. Slimy with a chance, but will miss the ball up high. No reason to hang your head low on that one. That was difficult for any player, but Slimy retreating back to the midfield will get this one off the side with a follow-up touch towards Urinate, forcing the double commit, but the recovery is there as KOD sends this back to the Rhino half, and now Slimy retreating back, gets a full tank of boost, and will hit this one down. But T-Man refuses to go, will stay and play defense instead, and a good decision it was. That was an epic save, and it is now cleared away.
T-Man has the control off the sidewall. Again, we see how mechanically sound they are, and I'll continue to comment on it because it just looks impressive. We'll just have to wait to see what things come of it in terms of consistency. T-Man catches down low, but was a little bit too quick for that one. Forced it out to Urinate, who got tripped up in the midfield, allowing T-Man push this one to the sidewall. One more to beat. Again, throwing away possession. Mechanically sound maybe in the air, but on the ground, not so much. It's a difficult ball to read for Slimy. Just not the best position to be in after T-Man's play up front.
Yeah, that was a great, kind of like a cherry, not necessarily a cherry pick, but it was a good pass coming out from KOD. Just kind of getting a lead pass there, setting Urinate up to kind of go for the redirect and put that one back down, and then, salute to the last-ditch efforts coming from the defense there, trying to get the save, and managed to succeed to save one, but couldn't save both. Urinate just did not give up on the play, followed it up with their own touch to put that one in, and they take an early lead here, 1-0, but still plenty of time for the Rhinos to equalize yet again, and we know it's definitely possible. We've seen the Shadow come back and equalize even in more dire circumstances, so the Rhinos still have plenty of an opportunity to show off what they got.
They almost looked to show it off a little bit there, but I think it's not really consistency of mechanics, it's consistency of final execution. The very last touch that's going to go towards net. They're struggling. My goodness, what a heads-up play from T-Man. What a play that would have been had Slimy gotten that. Again, the final execution play is what I'm really looking for. The very last touch, when it's time to shoot on net, how accurate can you be? Slimy stalls it, T-Man misses the doink. Urinate takes over, fires a huge shot, and T-Man, no boost, made the save anyway. It's just not enough. And Urinate puts 2 goals on the board for Shadow.
Yeah, well done from Urinate. Again, honestly, and we see this all the time. We talk about it. Sometimes the best passes are missed shots. So they're taking the shot, they're forcing the defense to try and make saves, and they're putting them out of defensive positioning. So the more that you fire on the net, the more defensive mishaps you're going to cause, the more times you're going to cause them to leave position, because you're forcing the defense to make movements. You're forcing the defense out of the net. And when you get that clear opportunity, you can come up and take an easier shot. And that's what Urinate has done twice so far. And if it works, and if it's not broken, don't fix it. But now a lead pass from Urinate to KOD, looking for the double touch, and will find it. What a play! Now 3-0 right at halftime.
All the way downtown, KOD to the ground. What a shot! Well, if that's not the Balsgarana play of the week, I have no idea what it will be. What a fantastic display of mechanics in what has overall been a mechanical game. T-Man looking for their star play. They're not going to find it this time around. Shadow looking to get their hands on a fourth goal quick and simple. It's all Slimy's ball, though. Euro out to the corner one more time, continuing on this momentum, riding that high, but T-Man riding the ball down, looks to go under, goes over, hits the crossbar, saved by the woodwork, and a little bit of Euronate as well. This one is out, 2 minutes to go, and Rhinos still can't find that breakthrough.
Yeah, I'm really liking it so far, just because, we're talking about Euronate over there on the Shadow, and then KOD comes up and says, you know what, I could do stuff too, check this out. And now it's 3-0 in favor, and I gotta say, this is probably the most, well, honestly, it's probably the biggest point spread that we've seen so far in this series, a 3-goal advantage in favor of the Shadow, and now they're just holding on as an absolute banger of a pinch. Flies around, hitting the ground, hitting the wall, and the ceiling, all in one touch, will now finally be kept under control by Slimy going towards the midfield.
Slimy needed to make that touch. That could have been a fourth goal opportunity opening up, because we see T-Man starting to go for boost. The boost conservation lacking just a little bit as Shadow continue to take the boost on the defense or on the offensive side. When they get onto offense, they're really good about making sure to get their hands on the boost. Now T-Man hogging all the boosts that they can, trying to fend off the Shadow players in a bit of a unique way by collecting boosts, making sure that they run out of gas, run out of acceleration, speed to move their way downfield. Quick shot by Slimy is enough to catch off one defender, and that's all it takes to put their first on the board.
Yeah, Slimy here to remind everybody that it's not over until it's over. Slimy with a nice touch, sitting that one off the ceiling, and then reading their own pass at the midfield to put that one right on target and right above the defender. And again, just beautiful shot placement coming from them, putting them back in the ball game, really, because they were remaining scoreless to 3 unanswered goals, and finally they answer back with, I think, just a good bit amount of time to try and catch up and hopefully equalize.
Now Slimy putting this one out a little bit roughly. Not the best clear, just trying to get some sort of clear, almost a breakthrough for the Rhinos. Euro sweeps in at the last minute to save this one away. T-Man, though, gets a goal, and that one only took 20 seconds, so 23 to go. We could see that overtime push.
Yeah, and you see, this is what we're talking about. A lot can happen in a short amount of time in this carball game that we call Rocket League. In 23 seconds, it's plenty of time for T-Man and the Rhinos to pull something out. T-Man with the kickoff will go over to KOD. KOD leaves it hit off the wall, trying to run some of this clock here, but it could be costly as T-Man will waste no time putting this one back into the net. We are tied at 3.
Well, what did I tell you, Captain? I told you 23 seconds, that's just enough time for the Rhinos, and more specifically, T-Man. We know how fierce they like to play, and Shadow are shaking in their boots with 14 seconds and an overtime lingering over their heads. Here's an opportunity if they can get a quick enough shot. KOD not finding the right placement on it. Good coverage from Slimy on the defense. T-Man looking to slip around the backside. Will not. And we get that overtime, Captain. I said it was going to happen eventually. I didn't know about this game, but it certainly is what we got. And it actually all could end soon. Euronate looking on the edge of the offensive attack. That one goal that they need, because it's golden goal territory.
Yeah, you really got to be careful now, because this will be the time. This is the second overtime we've had in this series. Of course, it was Euronate coming up with the steal in the first game, taking the first one away from the Rhinos, but now it's the Rhinos' chance to steal here in OT. And if anybody's going to get the job done, it might be T-Man off the crossbar and in. They have stolen this game away from the Shadow, scoring 3 unanswered goals in a matter of seconds. Well done to the Rhinos. What an upset for the Shadow.
A huge upset, and certainly no better word to describe it than a steal. We see a Balls Garana play of the week from KOD, something as insane as that to get that third goal, and then it all evaporates within a matter of a minute. T-Man, you're cracked. I'm going to need you to settle down. Take a chill pill a little bit, because that's a steal. 2-1 in the series now for the Rhinos. Certainly not the way we thought it was going to go, Captain, and certainly not the way the audience at home thought it was going to go, and even more so with the Shadow doing everything, pulling out all the stops and going down still. That's got to feel tough.
What it felt tough for me. Like I'm sitting here watching it, and it was honestly just tough to keep up with it all. Like it was heart pounding, it was exhilarating, and oh my goodness, it has got to hurt for the Shadow. But as the Rhinos
Yeah.
just came out charging, stampeding on the offense, they started to get a little bit nervous as like the offense just kept coming and coming with 11 shots on the board for the Rhinos. They just came out shooting on all cylinders, playing all offense with the last few seconds remaining, and then the Shadow could not get out of their half, and that's where they got
Mm-mm.
punished. They weren't forcing the other team or the Rhinos to play defense. They were just sticking to the defensive, not playing any of the offensive, not running enough of the clock that they needed to, and the Rhinos were able to come away with the steal.
It was just as simple as that. T-Man, force of nature, force to be reckoned with, whatever you want to call him. I don't know what other analogies there are, and that's probably a good thing. So we move in to this fourth game of the series, and we sit on match point in favor of the Rhinos, who, I mean, on paper, we're kind of favored in a sense to come out on top as the victors, but we have to wait one more game. Urinate takes this one down low, looks to pop over, gets a decent 50. T-Man, or Slimy, is up to this one, now finds T-Man on the front. KOD in an awkward position off the back wall, Slimy in retreat. Everybody missing their opportunities to go for this. T-Man can't find enough strength to get through. Slimy gets bumped out of the way. Can Shadow turn on this quick enough? It's just off the crossbar, goes down and in for KOD to make up that first goal.
Yep, in billiard terms, this shot three-railed its way into the pocket here. 1, 2, and 3! And finally, it finds the back of the net. Good shot coming through early from KOD off the sidewall there, and that's honestly a momentum boost that they're gonna need, because they were kept to 3 unanswered goals last game. So it was really important for them to score early here to kind of break that streak, but T-Man will not let it go unanswered for long as they answer right back with a goal of their own.
And not only that, but that was Slimy's goal. Come on, a little bit of spin, some style, not only to rub it in the face of the Shadow, but to rub it in the face of Slimy, saying, ha, my goal, I'm stat padding now, says T-Man. Tie game, only 40 seconds in, and I think a lot of the points you're making are valid, Captain, and even, I don't know what it is with casters today taking the words out of my mouth, and I'm just left here sitting with nothing. But, I mean, this game, a lot of factors that have gone into it. Obviously, I stress T-Man a lot, the team play as well. The Shadow have some of it, but even here, the Rhinos have more of it, and that's just what it's going to come down to, that consistency, that pinpoint accuracy that Slimy and T-Man have this chemistry for, to beat out KOD just like that. It's milliseconds, it's small margins of detail that are going to separate any Rocket League game as Rhinos take a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, and this is really where the Rhinos want to be now. Like, they were able to take and really steal the game away in the previous game, keeping the Shadow pretty much unavailable on offense. And now that they were able to score a 1 quick goal, the Rhinos want to remind them, hey, don't get too antsy now. We're still in control here, but it's going to be up to the Shadow to take the control back with a swish and a flick to tie us back at 2.
Remember when I said I can't wait to kick back and relax as a spectator? Well, this is just one of those moments. It's a show match. KOD, beautiful flick over the moon. The cut in and get another goal to tie this game up. And man, I'm just looking forward to the rest of this series. I don't want it to be over almost. The fact that it's been this close through and through to the end, and that T-Man almost gets another. I don't know how much more back and forth you can get in a series. Maybe there's been more. I mean, hey, I haven't been here that long, and this is already impressive. It is shaken down to be a classic. T-Man gets the pinch. KOD clears it out to the corner, takes it for themselves, actually really patiently. Good eyes, good field awareness, maybe good communication, something we saw lacking in a couple of the other series. Having that second pair of eyes in your teammates, when you've got time to work and when you've got time to give it a little bit closer to you and keep it away from the incoming attackers. KOD one more to the corner as Shadow start up the offense once more.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier, we saw T-Man, doing a little bit of cheeky goals, getting a little spin, a little flair, stealing one away from Slimy. But again, they can't get too comfortable against this Shadow team, because we've already seen their ability to steal a game away, and now all things are even as we approach halftime, as KOD is going to take this one towards the corner. T-Man looking to do some damage here, but a good pinch play from Urinate, and KOD will send this back towards the midfield as Slimy We'll put this down to KOD looking to get some mind games in, but Slimy will not fall for it. KOD having to retreat back. The counterattack now underway, going for the demo bump play, but will come up with nothing but air as this will stay in the midfield.
Such a close attempt. Great eyes, great awareness, great skill. Just great experience coming out right now from the Shadow. KOD was really hunting for that demo and would have loved to pick it up. Urinate trying to slow down the play. T-Man reads him well off. No boost. KOD down low. T-Man gets involved again. Great recovery times now from them. They put it off the side wall. KOD in the back. Hunter boost in the tank. Might steal it. Nope. Leaves it for their teammate or whoever can get their hands on it. KOD, we know how dangerous they are with the dribble play, keeping it fast, avoiding demos from T-Man, but it's just enough to trip it up. Double commit on the other end. Urinate shoots, doesn't score. T-Man with a block down. One more shot comes in. Is it quick enough? No, it's not. Off the post, and out it goes. 1 minute 30, and this one finds its way in, and KOD's the man to get the job done.
Yeah, not only did I know I saw a double commit, but I also think I saw one of the Rhinos kind of bump the other one out of the way, causing a huge mishap in defensive positioning and rotation. And then really it was just the Shadow coming in time and time again, shot after shot. It was only a matter of time before one found the back of the net. You hate to see it, but it happens to the best of us. And now the Shadow have the advantage of a 1-goal lead.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, KOD doesn't get the demo early on, but gets a little cheeky bump on T-Man, and it's just enough to slip by the defense and get a second goal lead. Shadow, they want this game 5, and they want it bad, Captain.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, I want it just as much as they do. Like, I want to see this go the full distance. But I do have to say, hold on, shot on. But KOD is there to get the save to clear it away. But anyway, as I was saying, I want to see this definitely go the full distance, but I gotta say it's a really good strategy. I didn't even think that last goal was gonna roll in. I thought they were just going for a bump play to clear it away for their teammate, but the ball needed no assistance whatsoever. It rolled right on in, and it's a pretty good strategy to take out T-Man, because T-Man is honestly is the player that's doing the most damage to you. So if you can take them out of the play, you might be able to come up with a few more goals. And now, like, already having the advantage of 1 goal against the Rhinos, now they got a little bit of insurance.
Slimy shot just goes high, gets the save, and I think one of the things that's contributing to what's going on right now with the Rhinos and why they're not able to get as many goals is this game has gotten really scary. It's gotten really, really spooky. The demo plays, everybody's going for mind games, the sudden change of pace and not knowing when it's going to come. You get in your own head. Not only does your teammate get in your head, but you start to second guess yourself and should I do this? Should I do that? More shots ringing from the Rhinos, and they're just not able to get what they need to close this series out. And we're going to game 5, and the scoreboard is going to 5 goals for the Shadow.
Yeah, and really no reason not to keep this ball up. I mean, you might be going the wrong direction, but hey, a consolation goal is a consolation goal, even if it's on your own. So congratulations on that end, but also congratulations to the Shadow for taking game number 4, forcing us to go all the way into a game number 5. Now, if we're lucky and we get a real treat, it's going to be a game 5 overtime, which is what my favorite scenarios are. But a little bit of Cap's analysis here, I don't even think it's really needed. Like, the stats speak for themselves and they tell the tale. 4 goals from KOD with 4 saves. We've already seen a highlight reel worthy play from KOD, so it's no surprise that they're turning the gas on and hitting on offense now. Urinate kind of took the back seat towards this one. Really not characteristic based on the previous games we've seen, but it's good to know that Urinate can play support and play backup to KOD with 1 goal and 1 assist of their own going over to the other side. And it's classic T-Man and Slimy. It's not that it was bad. It was pretty well executed for the most part. 2 goals for T-Man being fed by Slimy. They're doing well. They're communicating. They're passing the ball. But if you look at the saves, we're looking at 5 saves, 2 apiece. Well, 2 for T-Man and 3 for Slimy. It just seemed like they were kind of confined to their half, and they limited the Rhinos' offense, which was exactly what they needed to do.
The few shots that Slimy did have, though, were almost on open nets. There was at least a huge portion of the net that was vulnerable for them to strike in, and I just didn't feel that consistency. But like I said, the game got scary, the nerves settle in, and that's a reasonable point to miss. I mean, it's not ideal to miss, but it does happen, and we totally understand it. Just the fact of the matter is now you got a game 5 to fight your way through when you could have closed it out a bit sooner. It's not where you want to be, but it is where you are. 5 more minutes to go to close us out here on MLE 2. T-Man gets the bump, or no, they get bumped. And they'll go back to defense. Now they come through with a dunk around the backside. No Doomsy here. Shut down by KOD. Put out to Euronate. Stalls it. No. Sends it forward. KOD comes in. A lot of switcheroo play up to the backboard. Causes the double commit. Free shot. Euronate doesn't have the power. KOD, can they turn quick enough? No, they can't. T-Man takes control instead. Interception. Hand off to KOD. Back to the backboard. Oh no, don't do it again. I was gonna say, they scored that. I'm walking out of the room. That's just unacceptable. So we stay in a deadlock 0-0 for the first opening seconds and opening minute of game 5. No musty flick for T-Man.
Yeah, honestly, I try and practice my musty flicks in free play, and I gotta say it looked just like T-Man's just now. So it makes me feel good that I'm not the only one that has a hiccup time and time again, but still, we have seen T-Man pull off some nuttery buttery shots today, so I wouldn't be surprised if they end up making a musty flick in this game. But hold the phone with the flippery doodah set for a second time tonight. T-Man will take an early lead in a spectacular fashion.
Does it in game 1, reappears in game 5. T-Man always the man to impress. 1 minute off the clock, a little bit of change taken with it, and Rhinos hold the lead.
Now T-Man's looking to score.
Oh, and he gets it. Look at that.
T-Man again, not as spectacular as the first goal, but still it's a goal nonetheless. Just a nice slow-paced play, coming off the backboard, just reading the touch and just taking advantage of having nobody home on defense.
Phenomenal play. Simple as that. It's the simple plays that are going to be the ones to make the difference in the world. Shadow still down 2 goals, though, and it's not the place they were hoping to be after a long, hard-fought series. They're in this game 5 to win it, and so are the Rhinos, and it's just going to be who is the more consistent, who's the more calm and collected, who's got the mentality strong enough to beat through. This could be a preview of the playoffs. Not only that, but even a preview of grand finals or something like that. I think we're in the same conference, though, so it won't be exactly that, but man, this is a preview to a pretty huge game we could see later down the line. These teams just so close, anybody could take it, and if they are to meet again, I'm sure the loser might be able to have that second chance to become the winner. Slimy unable to make up for this ball, though, for the Rhinos. They don't really need to at the moment. They just need to hold off the Shadow.
Yeah, and you know what I'm starting to recognize a little bit, but hang on, Euronate will take a chance and let it fade away. Euronate taking this goal and bringing the deficit back within 1. Nice patience, good timing, way to not panic, remain under control, let T-Man make the mistake on the wall, and then take advantage. Well done, Euronate. But one thing I was going to touch on right before I was so rudely interrupted by Euronate with that spectacular goal is one thing I'm noticing from the Rhinos that I haven't seen either team really capitalize on, and it was physical bump demo plays. But I am starting to see a lot of demolitions come from the Rhinos right now, you know, and it could possibly play a factor, but if they can't shut down this offense from the Shadow, it's not gonna matter. They don't need a demo. They got the pass plays to win the games, and we are tied back up at 2.
Well, I said I'd try to hold off the Shadow, and that's just not what's happening right now for the Rhinos. That lead has evaporated just as quickly as T-Man has evaporated some of these leads from the Shadow. So it's a bit of a taste of their own medicine, some shades, some shadows of the past, if you will. And they're going to have to want that one back badly as we are past the halfway point in Game 5. At this rate, I feel like we could see that overtime, that treat that we've been asking for, Captain. We just got 2 minutes to decide it. Euro not able to get around Slimy, pushes forth from the corner, down from the ceiling to the grass. T-Man, the preset in hand. It's not going to be enough power. It's enough to slow down, though. Teammate nowhere in sight. And Euronate is able to hold off the pressure and let their teammate come back in KOD, who pinches wide and pitches long downfield, getting rid of the pressure.
I see. I just saw a strat come out from Slimy that isn't meta and needs to be. But hang on,
What?
The reason I was going on with the sentence I was just about to say because I did not think this was going to go in at all. But this got a bump on T-Man, propelled T-Man up into the ball, and then the ball just literally drops into the net, and then it's a goal. Like, what?
That's dumb. That's dumb that worked. That just, why does that happen? That is the definition of calculated right there. And hey, if that's the way this series ends, you know what? No, I'm gonna change my tone. If that's how this series ends, I'm gonna be very upset, and I think chat will be as well. Definitely the Shadow, especially if this goal goes in. Slimy hits the crossbar just a little bit. Shadow scrambling on the defense to wrap back around and get this next counterattack started. 1 minute is not a lot of time, but you got to play it like you do have a lot of time and just formulate things at a normal pace, something you're comfortable with, or maybe start hunting for those pass plays, hunt for your teammate, maybe do some cherry picking. You got to pull out the last ace in the sleeve if you want any chance of winning this game, taking away the series after fighting for so long. That endurance can't be fading now.
I'm not gonna lie, like I try to remain non-biased about, you know, casting and who's playing, but I gotta say I want the Shadow to score here, because if it ends on a goal like that, I'm gonna be so disappointed. And I'm talking, you got caught by your parents lying. I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. That's how bad it's gonna be. That's how disappointed I will be. So I'm really hoping the Shadow can pull it together and score with these remaining seconds left on the board.
Well, Captain, I wouldn't call it rooting for bias. I'd call it rooting for a storyline here. I think that's what this series deserves, is a Shadow goal in these next 15 seconds. And it might happen there. No, it's off the post. We thought it could come right then and there, but this one might be over. T-Man, one more flip reset, one more clear down from KOD. Looks for the double, but it hits the floor by mere inches, and Rhinos just barely get out of this one with the win. They walk away with the series, making their final record, or not their final record, but their record at the end of today, a 35-20 record. So looking pretty spicy as they move in to next week.
I gotta say, though, spectacular series from start to finish. Really having me on the edge of my seat, keeping up with the game, and just being excited every time a play was made. Like, that was absolutely phenomenal. We didn't get the peak of Rocket League where we got the Game 5 overtime that we wanted, and we kind of got the calculated ceiling pinch bump, whatever you want to call it, that was ultimately the deciding factor in this game. But I do believe it says in Rocket League proverbs, stanza 3 verse 38, we take those.
I'll have to take your word on that one, Captain. But this series is over, and my goodness, what a series it was. All those games, except for I think one, or maybe the lead just changed really quickly. All of them felt like one-goal games. It was really close. And if these teams are to meet again in playoffs, then I think this could go the other way. It could go any way. Like I started to speculate at the beginning of game one, it felt that way the whole way through. Really close game. A phenomenal show to watch. We hope the audience at home was entertained, but that's it. All we have for you on MLE2, the Minor League Esports Network, presented by APM Music. And I believe that is all we have. We might send it out with a raid to the main channel, and if so, then we'll see you on over there. But until then, Captain, I'll let you take us out with the closing remarks.
Closing remarks is pretty much I think you covered all the bases. All I will have to say is that once again, Grant, it is good to see you, because it's been a while since we casted together, and I remember why I missed it so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me here in the booth, and thank you everybody for watching Minor League Esports. Look forward to seeing you next time.